Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh my gosh, we already have some people coming on. Hi, Joe, and hi, Vanya. So good to see you guys are already on here. Oh my goodness. Oh, excuse me. This is my first time using Be Live, and so I can highlight your comments. I can add calls to action and sections, and it's all very exciting. But I am also getting used to the technology. Hello, Christina. Hello, Keely. Hello. Thank you guys for joining me live. This is so exciting. So a huge theme this month is all about play and having fun. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm starting to do these live this month, is because I love doing these broadcasts, but I love doing these monthly forecasts, but there was something that was starting to feel a little stiff about them, doing them just with me and my video camera, and then getting on iMovie and doing all the edits and everything. So I am like nervous, as you might be able to tell in this moment, but also really excited because, yeah, trying something new. And behind the scenes, it's usually like I film a little piece and then I check my notes, or sometimes I'll re-say something to make it sound a little bit better. And then I use iMovie to edit it and make it all look very cohesive. So I don't get to do that this time. So thank you, Christina. Hi, Anna. Thanks. So good to see you. Hi, Kim. Happy birthday. Thank you, guys. Hi, Marla. Oh, thank you, Marla. That is so sweet. All right. So let me see. Does that work? You can see that. I'm playing with it a little bit here. We're just playing. All right. Christina says her connection is spotty. You could try closing it and opening it again, because I've noticed that with this software as well occasionally. All right. So as people are coming on, how do I? Oh, there we go. Okay. So people are going to start coming on still. And thank you, Kim. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Keely says, you're awesome in your authenticity. Thank you. That's so sweet. All right. Oh, Christina says she's in the forest. All right. Yeah. So that's probably the forest then. All right. So this month, there are a few themes regarding creativity and going immediately. What's happening is we're going immediately into this place of heartache and heartbreak. It's like a feeling, it's a feeling place, but it's also a heady place. And we're taking that heartache and that heartbreak, and we're transforming it into a heart-filled and heart-opening experience for us. So what's happening is it can look also like we're creating solutions to things that have been kind of nagging at us. And as we're doing this, though, and this is the kind of going from that's the micro piece, right? Really finding a new solution to a problem. But the macro piece is, through that process, we are really discovering the infinite potential and the greatness of our own transformative and our own creative powers. So that's a huge gift that this month has to offer us. And I'm going to walk us through all that, because that sounds like, whoa, that sounds really big. So I'm going to walk us through exactly how that's going to happen. Marla says, yes, you're ready for it, right? We're all ready for that. Yeah, definitely. All right. So as usual, I'm going to hold up each of the cards so that you can start to kind of intuitively and emotionally react to them yourselves. Because, as I say, your intuition is the boss of everything. Your intuition leads, and then I am filling in the empty spaces. Okay. So we actually have 4 cards this month instead of 3, and I will tell you why 4 came through instead of 3 after I show each of the cards. All right. So just take a deep breath for a moment, inhaling together And exhaling together. All right, first card for us. Three of Swords. Second card for us. Four of Cups. This card actually did come through reverse, but I'm showing it upright so that you can take advantage of the image itself. All right, next card is Four of Discs. And the last card we have Three of Wands. All righty. So you might be noticing a little bit of a pattern with these cards, or you might not. I noticed a pattern right away. And actually, it was the Three of Swords that came through first, then Four of Cups, reverse, and then Three of Wands. And because I drew 3 cards as usual. And I noticed, like, wow, 3 and 3 with the swords and wands, which are the very, like the masculine suits, right? And then we had 4 reverse for the cups. And I was like, well, that's interesting. And then what happened was I took a peek at the bottom card of the deck, which is, by the way, the Marielle Tarot deck, which is the deck I use almost every month now for these forecasts. I don't remember when I used a different deck, actually. It's been a while since I've been using this deck. So I took a peek at the bottom card, and that card happened to be Four of Discs reverse. And I was like, whoa, okay, 3, 3, and then 4, 4 reverse, both reverse with the feminine elements. And I just knew that the Four of Discs also needed to be in the forecast. So that's how 4 cards came through. And so what we're seeing here overall, I really like to give an overall picture of the cards, is this heart-centered masculine energy up front, leading our actions. And so with the swords, right, we have intellect, we have the mind, we have thoughts, and then we have, with wands, we have action, we have desire, we have power. And so we have these, and then 3 is the number, I consider 3 the number of the heart. It is creating connection through the heart, or creating how do I want to say this? Connection plus action. That's what 3 feels like. So it's very like heart-centered, right? So we have the heart-centered action at the front. Heart-centered actions up front. It's an upfront energy. And so that means that this month is going to be more, it is going to be more active. And then, though, we do not want to overlook, and this is going to be an important focus as I go through it, we do not want to overlook the very powerful, quieter, more subtle feminine energies acting from within and from behind, so the cups represent intuition, emotions, and then we have discs, which represent the body, the earth itself, physical resources, home. And so those energies, and then the number 4, which to me is the number of the earth, the number of earth itself, and the number of stability. And so we're creating this inward experience of stability and safety while focusing our actions from a heart-centered creative place. So that is kind of the framework we're working with. And immediately, the word that came through as we are learning how to do this is playground. So I want you all right now, actually, before we dive in any further, to take a moment and close your eyes and put your feet on the floor And we're just going to do a short visualization, not really a meditation, but just a little visualization. So just go ahead and close your eyes just for a moment and take a deep breath. Let's do it together. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then bring yourself to a playground. And I don't mean the playground that you grew up in, that where you were bullied and made fun of and ostracized. I don't mean that playground. Maybe not the schoolyard. Unless the schoolyard was a wonderful, great, expansive place. Unless you loved being there, then that can be your playground. But what I mean as a playground is where you play, where you have fun. So this could be a garden, it could be an obstacle course, it could be a rough, wild, natural terrain. So bring to mind your ideal playground. Somewhere, it could be your yard, somewhere where you just love to play. And then in that playground, I want you to call in 3 aspects. So first of all, I want you to call in safety. What is going to allow you to feel safe in this playground? Imagine that safety taking some kind of form. And now I want you to imagine calling in fun to this playground. So what needs to be there in this playground for you to have fun? What will allow you to have fun? Go ahead and call that in. Start filling out the picture. And now finally, call in one more element. I want you to call in a challenge. What is going to push you? What is going to push your growth point? What is going to challenge you? Call in a challenge for yourself into this playground. So as you are bringing attention and focus to where your heart might be aching or breaking, or where you might be feeling frustrated this month, imagine that you're in this playground. And imagine that this playground is an inward experience of safety where fun and challenge can find balance. All right, so if you have not yet opened your eyes and come back to us now as we dive into each of these energies, all right? And please feel free to ask questions or make comments along the way if something resonates particularly strongly. I would also love for you to share. Okay, so let's see. So we're beginning with the 3 of Swords. We're beginning with that place that feels a little bit difficult, a little bit challenging, a little bit in conflict. This is the conflict that I'm feeling that a lot of us, myself included, by the way, are starting this month with something kind of like upfront, right? It's not starting from the easiest place. And what that means is that it can only get better, which is great. So we're not starting from the easiest place. And so some ways, and as I said in the beginning, this is a feeling, this is a head and heart kind of feeling experience. And so it could be, I'm going to offer some examples actually for you to begin feeling into what this experience is that's calling to your attention. And I'm actually going to, let's see if I can get this to work here. Just one second. Okay, so through each of these sections, I'm actually going to be presenting a challenge question for us. And the challenge question, is going to help you sort of navigate through the layers to understand more deeply about what is kind of keeping you feeling kind of stuck and what is keeping you in conflict. And so they're meant to piss you off maybe a little bit, and they're really good journaling questions. And so I would actually recommend you write down these challenge questions. You might have a reaction to them right away. It might start coming through, but sitting and journaling with these challenge questions to sort of get to a better understanding and to see your conflicts in a new perspective. Okay, so the first one is simply, what conflict is sticking with you? That is the first challenge question. And so here's some, I'm going to go through a few things that came to me that might help you kind of zero in on what this is, okay? So it could be a feeling of feeling burned, feeling trampled on, like I said, feeling heartbroken, feeling offended, feeling frustrated and like sort of tied in a knot, feeling stuck and hitting a wall. So those are some feeling places that will navigate you towards this point. Here are some self-statements that you might be telling yourself that will also navigate you to this starting point. Okay, so you might be telling yourself, oh man, do I really need to deal with this now? So that is the thing. It's the thing that you want to avoid. The thing that you want to avoid. Okay, second one. It's not that bad. It's no big deal. It's not that bad. It's not a big deal. Okay, so that's the thing that you want to write off. The thing that you want to write off. Here's a third statement that you might be saying to yourself. Why is this happening to me again? Right? So that's the thing that haunts you. So it could be the thing that you want to avoid, the thing that you want to write off, or the thing that is haunting you. Okay? Here's a few examples that could, this is a way, these are some examples of how this issue might be kind of showing itself in your life. Okay? So it could be an argument that you've had with a loved one, maybe an argument that you can't let go, or an argument you've had a few times. This is just a manifestation of something that's deeper, right? Maybe it's a person that, like someone at work, a friend, a colleague that is irking you, someone that's just bugging you, okay? That's another manifestation. It could be a project that you're working on where you have reached an impasse, where you just feel stuck and you don't know where else to go and what to do. It could be a goal that you set for yourself that you have not been able to meet. All right? So, and that's another kind of manifestation of feeling stuck. And also, it could be just a situation that is emotionally triggering you. So the point is to shine a spotlight on this issue so that you will be able to harness your creative powers to work through it in a new way. And the lesson that we're learning this month is this thing that's been bothering us is more important than we know at this moment. It's more important than we know. And it's showing itself right now for a reason. And so we're having the opportunity to create a new playground where we can create a sense of safety and play and fun, where we can activate our creative powers. And like I said, this is an opportunity to really unearth the fullness of our transformative powers and to really see ourselves and what we're capable of in a new light. All right. So how is that sitting with you? Is it coming through? Is that sticking point coming through yet? Let me know in the comments. Or are you wanting to kind of sit with it a little bit more and see what comes through? Taking a deep breath as we move on to the second energy. And I realized I have a card here. I can show it. All right. So now we're moving to Four of Cups and Four of Discs. All right, so, and as I said, these cards are representing safety, the safety in the playground that we want to create. All right, I'm just looking at my notes. I cannot say this all verbatim because, you know what? My creative powers unleash themselves while I write, and that's why I bring notes. All right. Okay, so here's where we want to start with this. So last month was all about healing the mother wound, right? And we dove deep to find the places where we had not experienced love. And we opened these new portals and these new opportunities for ourselves to show ourselves love, the love that we always needed. So it is time to put that into action. It is time now to really up the ways that we are nurturing ourselves and showing ourselves love, and to start acting in ways that we learned last month that we need to do. Now is the time. That is one of the really strong messages of both of these cards. And it is imperative. It is imperative that we do that to create this sense of safety within ourselves and without, to be able to discover new ways of coping, okay? So this is our stable center jumping off point. If you think about a playground, playgrounds always have boundaries. They have a fence around them, right? They have the sense of protection. They have a soft ground to fall on. And so that is what we need to create for ourselves in this experience. So here is your next challenge question. How have you been ignoring your emotional and physical needs while trying to take action and find a solution? How have you been ignoring, I'm going to repeat it, how have you been ignoring your emotional and physical needs while trying to take action and find a solution? Okay, I know that question might irk you a little bit. It's a little challenging. We're calling ourselves on our shit right now, right? And the problem is that when we have been kind of laxing on this, it leads us to tunnel vision. It leads us back to painfully repeating the patterns that we don't want to repeat. It leads us back to acting in those old ways over and over again, acting when we know that what we're doing isn't going to bring us a new solution. We just do it anyway because we don't know any other way. That's what happens. So that's why we really want to kind of start calling ourselves on this, and we want to begin creating a new way. And so what's really wonderful is both of these energies are presenting new ways for us to break out of those old ways, to break out of ignoring self-care and coming into deep self-care. So let's start with the message of Four of Cups. Emotions are your truth. Emotions are your truth. So I want to make that clear, that because sometimes with the word truth, there can be some confusion around it, right? Because truth is seen as something, as like a fact that is universal. And so what I mean is emotions are your truth. And we can often confuse the thoughts in our minds and the assumptions that we make and the things that other people tell us as our truth when we overlook our emotions. And so this is why it's really important to consider the fact that your emotions are your truth. So this is how we do it. Honor and take your emotions very seriously. Honor and take your emotions very seriously. So no more disregarding your emotions, no more pushing them aside, no more hiding from them, no more hoping that they're going to go away. It's time to create real space at the table for all of your emotions, and knowing that when you don't, they will sabotage your actions. That's one of the reasons why we need to make room at the table for emotions, and to know that those emotions have an important message that we need to listen to. And this is not on the surface. And so it's not just a kind of like, okay, all right, let me just know what the message is. It's really allowing yourself to sit in the emotions. And this includes all those emotions that we don't like to sit with. So anxiety and anger and jealousy and shame and guilt and fear. Okay, so these are the emotions that we need to hold space, holding space for our emotions, listening to them, holding space and listening. And also really important is find a way to speak the emotions out loud. Find a way to speak the emotions out loud. Because when you're able to do that, it quickens their transformative power. And so it's really actually putting words to them. Journaling, yes, helps a lot, but also speaking them to somebody, speaking them to someone that you really trust, or a group of people you really trust. Put words to your emotions. It really, really, I'll say it again, it quickens their transformative power. It quickens the true meaning and message that they're sending to you comes through so much quicker. So that is our first, the first way to create safety this month is by honoring your emotions as truth. Okay, so next one. Your body is truth, and that comes through from Four of Discs. Body is truth. This month, it is so important to honor and take care of your body. So, so important. Your body is going to be giving you the physical cues that tell you whether you feel safe. So listen to those cues. And these might be subtle. You might not be fully cued into your body right now, right? It's really easy to distract ourselves. And so start carving out space to actually listen to what your body is telling you, where it hurts, where it feels uncomfortable, where it's irritated. Those things that you might have been dismissing before are cues that show you where you need to honor yourself, where you have not been honoring yourself well enough. And the second piece to this, in honoring your body, is look out for the ways that your body is impacted by the physical environment that you are within. Okay, so that is another really crucial piece to creating the sense of safety, is to choose strategically and intuitively where you are placing your body. What's going to be the nurturing environment, right? So, for example, is the clutter in your home contributing to this sense, this feeling of anxiety within you? And this goes for emotions too, by the way. So, your emotions or markers also will cue you into how you're feeling in your physical environments. Another example is being away from home, making you feel really ungrounded and disconnected. Okay, so just pay attention. Where is it going to feel like home? Where, if you creating an external environment of home, will then mirror an internal experience of home as well. And that's really what we want, is to create that experience of home within ourselves. So prioritize your physical space in your body, listening to your physical cues, and external to you, and paying attention to the environment that you are consciously and intentionally putting yourself in as you are creating and addressing and approaching these issues that you've been struggling with and finding new solutions. It's imperative to have that feeling of safety from your physical environment from the emotional, vulnerable side of you that needs a seat at the table to listen and pay attention and respond to the messages your emotions are telling you, to respond to the messages your physical body is giving you. All right. So let's see. Marla says, words have power. Words make manifest. Ooh, yes. I love that. Words have power. Words make manifest. It's so true. It's bringing an internal truth external to you, which does transform it. And sometimes we don't know the truth of the emotions until we speak them. And so, yes, words have so much power. Yes. Thank you, Marla. All right. What's coming through now? Feel free to share what is coming through in the ways that you feel challenged to take better care of your body, make more space for your emotions, create a more nurturing physical space for yourself. Choose how and where you decide to show up emotionally and physically to create that sense of safety, to create that boundary for yourself in your playground. All right. Moving on to fun, 3 of Wands. Moving on to the third component of our playgrounds. Now that we have safety, now that we have a challenge we're dealing with, now we get to actually get creative. Yay! You're like, when is the creativity coming? Now it's coming. All right, so that card again, the 3 of Wands, which is this awesome image from Marielle. So now we are really kind of kicking things into gear in our playground. And let me pose, as we enter that, let me pose this challenge question for you. Whoops, nope, that's not right one. Okay, how have you been trying to think your way through? How have you been trying to think your way through? So something really important about opening ourselves to this powerful source of creativity this month, this powerful conflict resolution, boundary busting, mold breaking, playful, crazy, inspired energy, is that it does not reside up here. Does not reside up here. We cannot think our way through this. There is no way to think your way through this. No way. No way at all. You cannot come up with an answer solution up here. It's just not going to happen. This is Wands fire energy. This is energy that we're opening ourselves to. It starts down here. Okay? So you might be asking yourselves, so what else is there to do? If I can't come up with a solution, what is there to do? So this is a normal reaction. This is often the reaction that I have when I know that this is the way my ego reacts. Our egos react and they're like, what? What are you talking about? I have to come up with the answer. That's my job. Okay. So first, whenever we're entering this sort of like shifting from mind to energy, we have to kind of talk to the ego and say, all right, ego, I understand that you think this is your job, but if you can just simply acknowledge and open space that there could be other ways. There could be other ways. So let's just give these other ways a try, right? This is play, by the way. It's play. We're not taking it so seriously. It's like, okay, so take a vacation, mind. Take a little vacation ego, because we're gonna play. We're not taking this very seriously. We're letting go of seriousness. You can come back to being serious in a few weeks if you want to, but I actually don't really think you'll want to, but you can. All right. So that's the ego conversation. And so we're committing ourselves. So the first piece right now is to commit yourself to opening yourself to new ways. That's the simple commitment that we are opening ourselves into, committing yourselves to finding new ways. And I do use the plural ways, yes, because it's not just one way. The point of being in the playground and experiment and have fun is that we're trying out a lot of different things. We're giving ourselves full permission. I'm going to go into that. Permission is such a huge, powerful word for us to work with this month. So, all right. So this is so I'm going to walk through a few ways that this play might look like, okay? And how to kind of tap into this energetic space versus the head space. Okay, so first of all, if it feels hard, stop. Stop what you're doing. If it feels hard, stop. You're not playing. Playing is always fun. So if it feels hard, if you do not like it, stop. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. Stop sign. Shift. All right, come back into the playground. Come back to the place of safety that you've prioritized and start again. Okay, so that's the first lesson. Second lesson. Act first and then think. So this is a reversal, right, on the old saying as think before you act, think before you act. Nope, we're totally turning that on its head. Act before you think. Act first. It means that we are being totally impulsive. So this is your permission to be totally impulsive. Just simply act and then think about it later. So that's a little thing that if your mind starts to come in, but, nope, we'll think about it later. We're acting first. And then going back to permission, such a huge, powerful word for us. Say or do things that you previously would tell yourself you would never say or do. Okay, so this is going into risk-taking. Full permission slip. I was reading Brené Brown the other day, and she was her Braving the Wilderness, her third book. And she was talking about how she would literally write herself permission slips. Like she would get out a pad or a card, one of those like stock cards, and she would literally write the permission slip and sign her name and put it in her pocket. I love that idea. So give yourself permission to do or say things that you have never allowed yourself to do. Okay? Just like, and a really good indicator of this was when you say like, oh, I can't do that. Okay, that's the thing that you need to give yourself permission to do. Be upfront and transparent and fully commit. So this is the other piece to watch out for, to see if you're playing, if you're in the playground, if you're having fun. Are you fully committing to the action, to this playful, impulsive, act first action? Or are you kind of half-assing it and kind of being indirect, being passive, apologizing for yourself, right? So fully commit to it. Really throw yourself into it. Totally upfront, totally transparent, totally direct. Yeah, it is really, I actually read it, Kim, within like 3 days. I loved it. It challenged me. It inspired me. I just love Brené Brown so much. She's just so awesome. So I would totally recommend diving into it again. All right, so the last piece, and this is a really good metaphor to think about when we're allowing ourselves to really be playful and experimenting and wild and impulsive, is to consider it like a dance, right? So or dancing. So and I don't mean like ballroom dancing or the dance moves that like a coordinated dance that you move. Like, I mean when you like turn on some music in your living room, or you go to the club with your friends and you're just like, yeah, and you just start moving, right? So as you're moving, you're just like, you're not thinking at all. You're just literally allowing the music to move you. And this is really how we want to think about all the ways we're acting right this month. Is that as you're moving, and then you come up with kind of, sometimes you may come up with a move, right? And then you repeat that move because that move feels really good. And then you might try something, you're like, oh, I can't do that. That was weird. That was awkward. I'm not going to do that again. And you laugh at yourself and you move on. And then maybe later you remember those moves, right? And so this is the process of really allowing yourself to give permission to play and experiment and try on what feels good, and then repeat the things that felt good, and then remember those things that felt good. So be in a dance with yourself. That is, consider it a dance. So here's some ways to break the tension and get into a playful place. So number one is laughter. Okay, learning how to laugh at yourself, learning how to not take so seriously the thing that is bothering you, the thing that's pissing you off, the thing that's keeping you stuck, learning how to laugh completely shifts energy. Laughter immediately shifts tension, shifts the energy in a room, shifts your own energy. So bring laughter into your life. Physical sensation. So if you're feeling stuck, just allowing, like going to somebody that you know and love, or maybe you don't know them very well, and asking for a hug. Literally just like exchanging shoulder rubs and squeezes. Just physical sensation can kind of like bring us really like back into our body and kind of back into the place of like I don't know if you have, like if somebody kind of rubs you and you're like, oh wow, I didn't even realize I was like sore and tense right there. Like you might even not realize. It brings you back into your body, back into kind of feeling into where you need to kind of bring yourself into a place of nurturing and self-care. Unstructured physical environments. So this is something that is really, really helpful, is when you're feeling stuck and when you're wanting to get into that creative space I talked about, is just getting yourself out of your current environment and going outside, going for a walk, getting into nature, getting to places that are completely like unstructured or be outside the structure of your own life, because it completely shakes it up. It gets you out of your mind, and it allows your mind to start actually seeing things in new ways, because it's seeing new things and it's making sense of its environment. So it's like a mind trick actually doing that. And then the other thing is changing your own physical environments. Okay, so this really helps to kind of shake it up too, is like rearranging your living room, rearranging your office, rearranging your bedroom, redecorating, just literally like shaking it up, brightening it up, improving it in some way, also really, really helps you to see things from a totally different perspective. And again, it's like doing those actions, those kind of actions in the physical, then is mirrored in the internal, as we talked about earlier. All right. So the final piece with this Three of Wands energy that I want to share with you 3 affirmations, and I recommend you to write these down, because these are 3 powerful affirmations that will also really help open to this space that we're talking about. The playground I've created gives me the freedom of boundless expression. The playground I've created gives me the freedom of boundless expression. So in that, it reminds you of your playground, the safety you've created, the challenges you've called forth. And then it gives you the permission to be boundlessly expressive, boundlessly creative. Okay, here's the second one, and this is really key. There is no way for me to mess this up. Whew! Because let me tell you, we are all going to need to tell ourselves that a lot this month. There is no way for me to mess this up. There is no way for you to mess it up. After we start playing and experimenting, what often happens is we get the ego backlash, which then sends some kind of unpleasant emotions through us, right? And that's when we need to come back to that place of emotional safety, back into creating a space for those emotions and releasing them and expressing them so that we can recreate that place of safety. And then that is when we're calling those emotions forward, that shame, that embarrassment, that guilt, that anxiety that comes up after we give ourselves permission to be boundless, that is when we need to tell ourselves this from our hearts. There is no way for you to mess this up. There is no way that you mess this up. We are simply playing and experimenting. You have not messed this up. All right, so last one. This one is equally as powerful. The outcome does not matter. The outcome does not matter. Okay, so you might be saying like, what? Isn't this all about the outcome? Aren't we trying to find creative new solutions to our problems? So here's the thing in this process is that the gold that you are discovering is in the process of play. It is not in the result of play. It is in the process. It is the feeling that you have. It is the confidence that you're generating. You're actually generating power through play. Think about that. Like you're your own little power generator and you are generating power through play. Your own personal power, the power that comes from heart-centered actions, the power that comes from when you act from a place of truth and authenticity from your heart. So that is what this process is really teaching us, is that we are learning about the power that is in this process of play. And we're able to experience these moments of ourselves, of being in this powerful place. And that is what creates this tidal wave forward, this momentum, where our heart tells us, oh my gosh, I want that more and more and more. And our ego then starts to get on board and we're like, you know what? Okay, I think I can do this. Keely says, taking mad notes. Awesome. Joanne says, lot to take on board. Yep. Marla says, woo! Yep. And Joe says, buzzing. Oh, yeah, this is really intense, good stuff. Yeah. So the outcome does not matter, because I wrote these words. I'm going to just read them to you because I think they're just going to be powerful as I read them. Actually, no, I didn't. Okay. Your original heartache and conflict resolves and transforms in a way that your mind could not have previously imagined. Okay, so that is the experience that we're pulling from all of this, is that our original heartache and conflict is going to resolve and transform in a way that our mind could never have previously imagined. She just could not. So I'm actually going to end this piece of what we're talking about with a paradox. So you all know that I love paradoxes. Paradoxes crack open the sense of, how do I say this? This sense of mystery and wonder with the essence of the complexity of ourselves, right? So paradoxes get closer to the truth than we can ever get to, because we can never fully get to the truth, right? We can have our personal truths. Paradoxes get as close to it as we can. So here's the paradox that I'd like to end this piece of the transmission with. The future cannot exist when the present moment is ignored. The future cannot exist when the present moment is ignored. And yet, when the present moment is honored, the future disappears. So let me repeat that one more time, because it's a lot to take in. The future cannot exist when the present moment is ignored. And yet, when the present moment is honored, the future disappears. All right, questions, comments, feedbacks, reactions, let me know now, because we're getting to the end, nearing the end of this transmission. So yes, share them now. I want to create 2 invitations for you. The first one is I offer one-on-one, I call them Breakthrough to Your True Purpose call. These are free intro calls with me. I currently have openings for my 6-month coaching package. Even if you're not interested in that 6-month coaching package, you might be, and that's awesome. Even if you're not sure, if you want to go deeper into this work, if you're looking for greater intimacy in your relationships, greater closeness, greater connection, greater sense of authenticity in your relationships, if you're looking for a greater sense of authenticity and confidence in your career and more inspiration, if you are looking for what your purpose is in this world and wanting to create a career out of that, if you are if you're on a healing journey and you are working through some deep wounds that have been holding you up and stopping you, if you are wanting to really transform all these pieces of your life and come into a greater space of authenticity and authentic expression of who you really are, I invite you to get on this call with me. You don't have to know how or if we are ready to work together. This is just a place for us to get to know each other better so that we can kind of open it up for the future. So I'm going to, let's see. Oh, here we go. There is the link to, okay, and I'm going to read it out loud because it's not showing all. BigBeautifulBreakthrough.com, your true purpose. So that is the link. If you go there, you can click a button and fill out a form and sign up to one-on-one spot with me. So the other piece, the other invitation I have is that I'm starting to do these monthly workshop intensives, right? And they're always based on the theme of the month. And so this month, it's going to be all about getting out of our head, getting into our creativity, and opening and tapping into our creative genius and getting playful and brainstorming. Okay, so I don't have a name for it yet. I do have a date and time though. And where is that? Here we go. So I don't have a link yet, don't have a name, but this is the date and time, June 24th, 11 to 1 p.m. Pacific, that's Pacific time. I created a time slot that's going to work with a lot more time zones because I know last month it really only worked for Pacific Central time zones. And So yeah, so if already this is calling to you, if you'd like a space to come together as a group and to get into that creative zone, just send me a message and let me know, and you will be one of the first to know when I get that link up to sign up for it. And it will probably be around the same price of $77. I haven't yet set a fee for it either. All right. All right. So let's see here. Marla says, love this live, by the way. I do too. This was really fun. Yay. Yeah, it was more powerful. Hope my dreams will make a bit more sense of all of this. Okay, I hope they do too. I know, Joe, that you have powerful dreams, so I know that they will. And often you have to let things sit for a little while, right? Just so awesome to see you go live. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for your support. I really love that. Agree. Doing these lives is amazing, Charlotte. Yeah, it's fun. Thank you, Joe. Hi, Bina. A lot to consider with this transmission. All right. Yeah, a lot to consider, right? It's a lot of openings. And that's really what these transmissions are about, is about creating those openings for ourselves and then allowing those openings to take us on a journey, to take us more deeply within ourselves than we have given ourselves permission and that we have gone before. And then the second piece, because it's all about going deep and then coming back out and allowing whatever we discovered within ourselves to transform how we show up in the world. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me live. This was so much fun. And if you're watching the replay, I should have said this at the beginning, but please also feel free to leave a comment and let me know that you've watched this. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to please like this video and feel free to leave a comment as well. I'll catch it. And I am looking forward to staying in touch with some of you and seeing you all again soon. Oh, and Vanya says, love the paradox too. Oh, good. Oh, wait. What else do you say? This is your natural environment. Oh, thank you, Vanya. I appreciate it because I did not always feel that this was my natural environment, let me tell you. Yeah. Thank you, Keely. My throat is getting dry, which means I need to close this down. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you again all soon. Bye.